you read a different version of the Bible, would you expect to find completely new information? What if I told you that the Bible you're reading might be missing something? That a hidden message, an eerie prophecy, was lost in translation for centuries? All right, let's get straight into it. You probably know Luke 21:10 through 11. Jesus is describing signs of the end times to his disciples. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilence, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Pretty intense, right? Wars, earthquakes, plagues. Sounds like the news lately. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's focus in on the Syriac version of the Bible for this comparison. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be great earthquakes in many places, and there shall be famines, plagues, and terror, and there shall be great signs from the heavens. Now, the Syriac Bible has this last part, and the winters will be severe. Notice the extra detail. The King James Version says fearful sights and great signs from heaven, but the Syriac version specifically mentions severe winters. So why was severe winters omitted in the English translation? Let's look at a little history of Bible translations. The Bible's been translated into many languages throughout history, but the Syriac version, known as the Peshitta, is one of the earliest translations. The Old Testament was written in Hebrew and Aramaic, which was a common language for the Jews during the Babylonian exile. As Jewish communities spread across the ancient world, translations of the Hebrew scripture began appearing in other languages. As Greek became the dominant language after Alexander the Great's conquests, many Jews no longer understood Hebrew at that time, and that led to the translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek, known as the Septuagint. The Septuagint was widely used in the time of Jesus and the early church, and many New Testament authors quote from it, indicating its influence. However, Jewish leaders later distanced themselves from it, preferring the Hebrew text instead. This takes us to the New Testament, written mainly in the Koine Greek, the common language of the Roman world. The scholars believe parts of Matthew and other teachings of Jesus were first written in Aramaic before being translated into Greek. With the spread of Christianity required new translations, as Greek was not spoken everywhere. The Bible continued to be translated into different languages as time went on, including English, such as the King James Version, which uses Greek, Hebrew, but also is influenced by the Syriac Peshitta in some readings. So what's the Syriac Peshitta? Syriac is a dialect of Aramaic, the language spoken by Jesus and his disciples. It became a major Christian language in the Eastern Roman Empire and Persian empires, particularly in regions like Syria, Mesopotamia, and Persia. So what makes the Syriac Bible unique? It's one of the earliest versions of the Bible. It's written in a language closely related to the Aramaic that Jesus spoke, preserving original idioms and meanings. Some Greek New Testament manuscripts were influenced by the Syriac readings also. In fact, today, many modern translations, such as the NIV, ESV, NASB, etc., use Greek, Hebrew, and Syriac manuscripts to ensure accuracy. This doesn't necessarily mean the Greek lacks the concepts, but rather the Syriac text amplifies and elaborates on it in a way consistent with biblical themes. So why was winter omitted in our English translated King James Version? Most Western translations of the Bible worked from Greek texts that have lacked certain Syriac nuances. The English translators, like those behind the King James Version, often prioritized word-for-word translations, while the Syriac preserved more descriptive phrasing. So some early church scribes may have omitted or streamlined details that seemed redundant in their manuscripts. And because of this, English Bibles may not emphasize the harsh winter phrase directly, even though the idea is present elsewhere in Scripture. So, does this mean that the Syriac is more accurate? Not necessarily, but it does provide an expanded understanding. So in conclusion, while English translations of Luke 21:10 through 11 leave out harsh winters, the Syriac version may have included it as part of an expanded prophetic interpretation. The concept of winter tribulation is biblical, even if not explicitly stated in every version of the text. So this teaches us the importance of studying different biblical languages and traditions to gain a fuller understanding of Scripture. The Bible's translation history is a journey through time, language, and culture, from Hebrew and Aramaic to Greek, Syriac, Latin, and English. Each version provides unique insights. The Syriac Peshitta stands out as one translation, preserving the words of Jesus in a language close to what he had spoken. So what do you think about this missing prophecy? Is it a big deal? Is it a minor translation difference? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay warm.